In this video, we're going to be talking about the MOZA AirCross 2. Let's get started. Welcome to the jungle, Amazon reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the MOZA AirCross 2. I recently purchased this through Amazon. Wanted to let you guys see what comes in the box and what I think about it. So this is the actual packaging, but there's something cool just inside. Let me show you. Inside the box comes this foam carrying case. Now, I had a Gimbal S before, same price, same type of gimbal, but it didn't come in a carrying case. This makes it so convenient if you actually want to pack up some gear. Now, the gimbal will fold down itself and is small enough to fit in a backpack, but this foam case, rigid foam case, was a winner chicken dinner. The other part that's a winner chicken dinner is that it actually has locks, so you don't have to worry about the case popping up as you're traveling. Let's take a look at what's inside. Inside the box, what you're going to get is you're going to get the MOZA AirCross 2 gimbal. You're going to get the tripod mount that's here at the bottom of it. So now you can mount the gimbal to a tripod, or you can use this tripod stand that comes with the gimbal. You're going to get the L bracket, which I have already mounted to the system. You have a Manfrotto quick release system. You have an Arc-Swiss plate. Arc-Swiss plate because a lot of people use Arc-Swiss tripods. Makes it a little bit easier to move from the gimbal to your tripod. A phone holder, and the reason why you would use the phone holder is you would mount your phone to the top of the camera and use the MOZA app, which is an excellent app, to control the direction of your camera. So as you're moving around, it will actually follow a specific subject, so that way you don't have to worry about moving. The gimbal will move itself. Really good app, especially because you can control the gimbal through the app on your phone. But this is a phone holder that comes with it to give you added functionality. The other thing that you get within the box is you're going to get all your cables. Now there's a charging cable, which is micro or USB-C, not micro USB, but USB-C. And it does come with a battery pack, which I've already installed. Keep in mind that the battery pack has a film across the top. Don't be silly like me and think that your gimbal is broken, because it won't turn on, because it will turn on if you remove the film that covers the leads to the battery. I must have spent a good 5, 6, 7 minutes trying to figure out why my gimbal wouldn't turn on, when really it was user error. I just had to peel that, pop it back in, and it was no problem. Now it does come with the cables to connect specific cameras to the kit, and some of the cables are a M3C Mini, MCSC remote, M3CC cable, a micro cable, a USB-C cable, which you would use for charging. Now, there's quite a few different cameras that will work with this system, but keep in mind, even if you have an older camera like I have a T6i, you may not be able to control the camera from the gimbal, but you still will still be able to take advantage of the stabilization, and especially on these older cameras with no in-body camera stabilization, it is a tremendous benefit to be able to do that. So a couple of things that you should know. The L bracket that I have it mounted so that way it's in a horizontal position, but you can also use your camera in a vertical position. You just simply mount your camera to the L bracket and mount the bracket the other way. The system also came with the follow focus bar, so you can mount a follow focus motor on here and a lens support bracket. And right now I've got the Manfrotto quick release mount mounted on here because that's how I mount my camera to this system. The follow focus wheel works really well, and again, I have an older camera, so I can't connect the camera to the gimbal itself. But what I can do is I can remap the wheel. They made it available to remap to specific functionality, and I actually use this for either panning or tilting the camera depending on the shot that I'm looking for, because I could try to do it manually, but with this wheel the motion is so smooth. I think that you'll enjoy it. The other thing that I really enjoyed about the MOZA was the fact that the locking mechanisms lock down tight on the camera. The Gimbal S that I had before, I had a problem with especially the bracket that mounted the camera to the gimbal system. As I was moving down with the gimbal, the actual camera would slide out of the bracket, and I had a couple close calls with the camera almost sliding all the way out of the gimbal. And that was a lever locking system, where this is actually a screw system, and I find it to be way more reliable. Let's talk about the pros and cons, and we'll start with the pros. Number one is the construction. The construction feels really good and is of high quality. The battery life, I've shot all day with it, and I had no problem. I definitely stay within the weight guidelines, and I do turn it off when I'm not using it or when I'm resetting up or changing lenses. Balancing was a breeze. It was just as easy as the Weebill S that I owned. Once you get used to balancing a camera on a gimbal, you won't have any problems doing it from one to another. The other pro is the screw down locking mechanism, as opposed to the lever locking mechanism that was on the Weebill S. Definitely feel more secure putting my equipment on this gimbal. And my last pro is going to be the fact that I can actually isolate the gimbal motors and lock some and change some to follow, so that way I can change the functionality of the gimbal. And that was a winner chicken dinner. So now let's talk about the negatives, or the cons. The only con I have about this gimbal is the fact that the only thing that I would say that I miss having on the Weebill S, and that's that the tripod mount that mounts at the bottom, which comes of course in the package, on the Weebill S you can mount it to the back of the gimbal and carry it in undersling mode. Now, the MOZA can go completely upside down and do underslung mode this way, but I really liked having the handle that mounted at the top to get those really low shots. It just felt more natural and comfortable than having to turn the whole gimbal upside down. Now, I purchased this in December. There was a special going on. You got $50 off if you purchased it and you were a Prime member, which made the price $349.99. Currently, the price is $399.99, but if you apply for an Amazon card, you can get $70 off. I recommend this gimbal. I actually like the way that it works. The functionality seems to flow better for me than the Weebill S, but I really struggled with that locking mechanism that the Weebill S had, whereas I don't have that same problem here. I have no worries once the camera's on here. I know that it's mounted well, and like I said, the functionality is fantastic. If you're looking for a gimbal, especially if you're a beginner and don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a gimbal, I think this would do you well. I would purchase it. I haven't had any issues, and I really like this gimbal. Well, that's it. My recommendation is that this is a winner chicken dinner. You should give it a try, especially when you add in all the extra touches like the locking case, the locking mechanisms, the remapping of the zoom wheel, all of those things all together. I would say that so far this is my favorite gimbal that I've purchased, and I think you should give it a try. Until next time, thanks for watching. Welcome to the jungle, Amazon Reviews.